So ladies, it is that time again. We are stepping into a new season, which means it's time for us to step it up. We are going to become the best versions of ourselves, and this video is going to show you exactly how. Hello my love, welcome back. My name is Montelle Bee and this is the channel where self-mastery meets work in progress. So I want to welcome you into our brand new series that we are going to start on this channel, which is called the Reset series. Now is the time for you to step out of any funk, slump, cycle, whatever it is that had been holding you back from achieving what it is that you want to achieve, or from stepping into the best version of yourself, from creating new habits and routines, whatever that is, it's now time to shake it off. So I actually want you to do that. I want you to stand up. I'm gonna do it with you. Let's all stand up right now. And let's just shake it. Just shake it all off. Just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. All that bad vibe, bad energy, get rid of it all. It's a new season. It's a new season. It's a new season. And I want you to repeat that to yourself. Keep saying, it's a new season. It's a new season. It's definitely a new season for me. Your girl's engaged. If I haven't said that enough already. But I'm just playing with you. But it is a new season, and it's your new season too, regardless of how the year has gone for you so far, whether it's been great, whether not so great, whatever. Now is time for you to step into your best version and to have that reset. So that's what this series is all about. And today is going to be a step-by-step guide on how you can become the best version of you. So the first step to becoming your best version in this season is to actually know and understand what season you are in right now. If you watched my previous video, which was my life update and me openly sharing the season I was in, which was isolation, and now coming out of that, this is what I also want you to do. I want you to have that level of self-awareness where you can understand what this season is going to look and feel like for you. Is it going to be a season of you going all in with your goals and aspirations? Or is it going to be a season of isolation, a season of rest, a season of prioritizing family, a season of taking a step back, a season of taking a step forward? What season are you in right now? It's so important for you to know this about yourself, because if not, we can get caught up in comparison, in looking at other people's lives and successes and beating ourselves up for not seeing those same results, when in actual fact, it just wasn't the season for us. So you are going to hear me stress this a lot on my channel about knowing your season, because it well and truly is what saved my life and what gave me so much peace, especially over the summer when I took such a long break off of my business and YouTube, and my income suffered because of that. But I wasn't stressed. I was actually the most at peace I have been for the past year. And it's because I fully understood where I needed to be in that time frame, which was resting, resetting, reanalyzing, rebuilding myself and my identity. And I even shared a community post recently, which was, she's in her blank era. And I want you to go and write down your era in the comment section as well. What era are you in right now? What season are you in right now? This is what's going to inform how you can step into your best version. It's going to look different for every single one of us. And this is one thing I'm just going to keep stressing. So you're probably going to get annoyed at me, but one day you will thank me. Okay, so next up, once you have now established the season that you are in, you want to ask yourself two questions. Very simple. Firstly, ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this season? The reason you want to ask yourself that is because as humans, naturally, we are quite emotional, or especially as women. Let me not speak for everyone, because I know my fiance will come for me and say, well, I'm more logical. Okay, we get it. But as someone like me, and probably like you, and to a certain extent, even those who are more logical minded, to a certain extent, we are all driven by our emotions, which is why we often say things like, we don't feel like it doesn't feel right. It's because we're driven by how we feel. And the ultimate goal is to not be driven solely by emotion and for there to be some logic behind it. However, in the meantime, whilst you're leading up to building more emotional resilience so you can still take action, just ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this season? Do you want to feel more secure? Do you want to feel more supported? Do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel free? What is that core emotion that you want to feel in this current season for the rest of fall? I know for me, I want to feel at peace. That is the ultimate feeling that I need in this season. So ask yourself, what's that feeling for me? And this is something that I ask a lot of my clients, and especially if you've done the Reinvent Yourself challenge, you'll know that I ask this question as well. How is it you want to feel when you achieve a certain goal? And that's because you want to be able to link an emotional charge towards your goal, your season, your life. It makes it so much easier for you to achieve it. And then the second question you want to ask yourself is, what are the daily ways that I can begin to feel this now? Let me give you an example. I remember when I was working in a 9-to-5 in an office, and I was just stressed out, frustrated, not living my dream life, doing the same thing every day, not feeling expansive. And every single day I'd go to work miserable. And it's because I just wasn't living my dream life and I wasn't traveling, I wasn't focused on my business. So I'd go into work every single day miserable until I had that light switch moment and I said, actually, I'm in control of my emotions. I can shift at any point, and there must be something that I can do right now to feel that freedom that I so crave. That was my value back then. It still is now. But back then, I'd ask myself, what can I do to feel more free right now? And every single day, I started to journal and create a list of 1 to 3 things that I could do within that day to feel more free. Now, these are only going to be small things. Of course, it's not going to be leaving your job, up in and traveling the world if you don't have the means or the capacity to do that right now. But it could just mean something simple as going to take a walk. That could be a way that you feel free within that day. So you want to start asking yourself, what are some of the simple daily things that I can do to start feeling the emotion I want to feel? So in this season I'm in right now, the emotion I want to feel is peace. So I can ask myself, what's something small I can do today to feel more at peace? Maybe that is spending some time praying or reading my Bible. Maybe that's doing a meditation. Maybe that's going for a walk. These are all simple things that you can do to start reinforcing that feeling that you want to feel for this season. And ultimately, it will help you to feel your best and become the best version of yourself over time. In this season, it's all about compounding. We're not racing to the finish line, we're taking those small, consistent daily actions. This is something that I preach and preach and preach. I've been preaching this for years on my channel. It's all about the small, consistent actions. So the next step to becoming the best version of you this fall is to confront the things that you have been avoiding. You simply want to ask yourself, what have I been avoiding? And I know for sure there are things that you have been avoiding that have led you to feel frustrated, to feel overwhelmed, to procrastinate, to feel paralyzed. I know it. I know it. So it gets to a point where you have to confront these things so that you can move forward. If you've been feeling stuck in any capacity right now, whether it is in your business, creativity, health, fitness, relationships, career, whichever area of your life you've felt has been quite stagnant recently, it's often because of something that we're avoiding. And because we're avoiding something, it's leading to frustration, which then leads to paralysis, and then leads to us just going round in circles and in that same cycle. So my challenge for you this week is for you to create a plan for how you're going to tackle this head on. Whatever that is. I know for myself, it was definitely filming. As you know, I took an extended break and now I'm back. But it took a lot for me to get to this point where I was ready to film. I would procrastinate, I would put it off. Even now, the time right now is 9:30 p.m., which I know it's not that late, but for me to film at this time is quite late because I usually film in the mornings. But I've just been procrastinating and procrastinating day after day. And more specifically, one of the things that I've been avoiding doing is organizing my hard drives. And for me, that is such a huge barrier. When I know that I have clutter, whether it's digital, mental, physical clutter, it really does prevent me from moving forward. So I knew that's something I needed to tackle head on. So yesterday I just set aside some time so I could clear out my hard drive so that can no longer be an excuse or a barrier. And lo and behold, a day later, here I am filming, feeling great. So it just goes to show, when you've constantly got something on your mind, no matter how small you may think it is, it's these small nags that end up ruminating over time and end up causing serious paralysis and burnout. And what you'll find is, once you begin to tackle that thing you've been avoiding, it wasn't even that bad after all. We start to create these stories in our head and these scenarios, and we make it so dramatic, and you get what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be that way. So I challenge you to tackle it this week. All right, so the next way that you are going to become your best self this fall is to adopt the mindset that slow and steady wins the race. This season is all about quality over quantity, which means we need to slow down. And the reason we're slowing down is so that we can speed up. So if you feel like you've been in a constant cycle of just racing towards this perceived finish line, and you're not getting there, you're still feeling burnt out, you're second guessing, you're questioning, you're falling off, you don't have the consistency, and it's been like that for a while, this is an indicator that you need to slow down. We're currently living in a time where everybody seems to be racing, but with no direction. Everybody is running to the next milestone, but they actually have no intention of where they're going or what that result is or what the end goal is. We're just seeing what other people are doing and attempting to follow suit. But what's happening in that attempt is that we are becoming overwhelmed, burnt out, frustrated, just simply drained by the unnecessary pressure that we're putting on ourselves to achieve certain milestones. When everybody is going in one direction, you should always seek to go the opposite. So when everybody is speeding up, you should actually slow down. And history repeats itself over and over and over again. And what do we see in history? We've seen people who have taken a slower route to get to their goal always end up on top. And it's because they're able to build that resilience, that endurance, that stability that you need to be successful. So in this season, I know for sure I am slowing down to speed up. I'm not going to allow any external influence to pressure me into feeling like I need to speed up. We are all living our own lives at the end of the day, and our health is the one thing that we should look to preserve. That's your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. So do not jeopardize that for the sake of proving a point. If you need to take a bit more time to perfect your craft, to go deeper and explore the industry that you're getting into, or to explore your mental health, to explore relationships, your family, to go deeper into a certain area of your life, then by all means do that, because at the end of the day, you're the person who's going to win. Now, I know you may be thinking, Montelle, slow down to speed up? Are you not the 12-week year queen? Are you not the queen of momentum and getting fast results? Let me just make something clear. The 12-week year is an execution system which supports you with, yes, achieving your goals in a smaller time frame through consistency. However, within the 12-week master plan, which by the way you can go and purchase down in my description, you are only focusing on 1 to 3 goals at a time, and less is more. If you only want to do one, Perfect, amazing. It is not a system where you are just being chaotic and focusing on all these different goals and things that you want to achieve. It's actually the opposite. You are being intentional and strategic with 1 to 3 areas that you want to focus on. That is a prime example of slow and steady winning the race. 1 to 3 goals, you're not getting distracted, you're not stopping and starting, you're focusing on those for a solid amount of time to build up consistency, to build the habit, and to make progress. If you're interested in that system, make sure you head down to my description to learn more about how you can get started with the 12-week master plan. So the next way to become your best self in this season is to prioritize process over results. As annoying as it is to hear, the only way that you are really going to make progress and see success is through consistency. I know you don't want to hear it. Even I find it difficult to hear that, because it's just like, why can't it just be some secret formula or some secret habit that can get you there? But the truth is, the habit is consistency. That's what you have to build, and it's a muscle. You have to work at it. And the only way that you can really work on your consistency is when you reframe your mindset to value the process rather than the result. Often when we are setting goals, we're so fixated on the outcome, the result, the goal, the shiny object, the glamorous side of achieving the result, when actually we are going to find the most success in the process. We're going to find the most transformation in that process. That's where you're building up endurance. That's where you're building up resilience. So if you can really shift your mind to value the process of you going at it every single day without fail, of you showing up for yourself, of you keeping your commitments, of you rebuilding that trust with yourself, this is what consistency looks like. Anybody can achieve a goal. Anyone can make money. Anyone could make £1 million or dollars. You could just win the lottery tomorrow. Boom, it's in your account. But are you going to be able to maintain that lifestyle if you haven't yet built that consistency muscle? Probably not. So this is where you need to start placing your value in every single process. And a simple way to do that is to start seeing your life as different processes. And there are many processes in life that we already subconsciously have, such as waking up, getting ready for the day, going to work, your daily commute. All of these are processes that we already have. So now you want to look at some of the areas in your life what are maybe not so routine yet, and start creating processes out of those too. When you've got certain milestones or goals you want to hit, think about, how can I make this a process rather than just thinking about the result that I want to achieve. If you want to start a business, rather than just thinking about the money that you want to be making, which of course you're going to need to think about that, but firstly think about, what processes do I need in place? Okay, I need to work on my brand. How can I create a process out of that? I need to work on my marketing. What's the process I can do? The more of these micro processes you can make, the easier it will be to build consistency. The next way to become your best self this fall is by truly staying grounded. I know that this time of year, everyone is talking about becoming your best self and resetting, myself included, and just going after your goals. It's the last 4 months, let's do this. And yeah, I get it, but if that is going to come at a cost of your peace and stability and you feeling grounded, then just throw it all away and prioritize your mental peace right now. And in fact, let me not say throw it all away, because there are ways that you can stay grounded while still slowly going towards whatever you want to achieve. And it's like what I said earlier, slow and steady wins the race. So you want to be figuring out, in this season, how can I stay grounded? How can I prioritize my peace, my mental stability, while still achieving whatever it is that I want to do? And you know, that could look like taking breaks. It could look like restructuring your relationship with certain things, your priorities, your social circles, your environment. Just really be clear and mindful about how you are going to protect your peace, because we all know that stress is a silent killer, and we all know that mental overwhelm and exhaustion leads to physical exhaustion. And that's why many people go through cycles of burnout and just all of these things that, especially as young people, we really need to steer away from, because it could have such detrimental effects on us in the future, even in the present. So stay grounded, stay grounded. So the next way you are going to become your best self this fall is linked to social media, and it's just that you need to become your own influencer. This is the season where instead of seeking inspiration, we become the inspiration for ourselves. And especially if you are someone with big dreams, big goals, you have a vision for your life, which I know 100% of you do, which is why you even watch my content. This is going to be the season for you to act more than you consume. Or if you're a content creator, you want to be creating more than you're consuming. Find ways that you can limit your screen time and replace it with other habits or activities. If you are scrolling for inspiration on Instagram, whether it be for a YouTube video idea, once you have found that one piece of inspiration, go ahead and create straight away. Do not keep scrolling for the next piece and the next piece and trying to validate your ideas or whatever. Just go and create. If you find a recipe that you want to make, instead of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for more, stop and go and create that recipe. If you're looking for a new fitness routine, once you found it, go and do that routine. It's getting into the cycle of taking action. Another way I love to do this, especially when I'm reading books, I like to read chapter by chapter, and I'll only move on to the next chapter once I've implemented something from that chapter. This is what's going to get you out of that cycle of overconsumption of information. That is a form of procrastination within itself. So you want to just be acting more than you're consuming in this season. And I can guarantee you, you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to be so much more productive, and you're going to be seeing so much more success. And another point I want to add, just off the back of becoming your own influencer and social media, is to go ahead and have a clear out. Whether you need to mute people, unfollow, this is the season for you to really control what you're exposing yourself to. Especially on Instagram, I found that Instagram, as great as it can be, it's also quite toxic. And I want to create a separate video on this actually. My algorithm on my For You page has been showing me some wild things recently. So I have to be so mindful and protective over what I'm exposing my eyes to. It really can affect you. And I'm someone who's quite sensitive anyway, so seeing death or demonic things, it really disturbs me. This is the season for you to really be mindful. You do not want to allow yourself to be influenced negatively in any way, whether you see a post that leads you to comparing yourself or feeling bad about yourself, or just something that's not raising you up. On the topic of clear out, the next thing I would suggest is having an end of summer clear out in your home. So you want to just go through all of your stuff, your clothes, your electronics, your toiletries, all of the things. Go and have a major clear out. We want to be out with the old and in with the new. It's a new season. And if you're anything like me, clutter is something that really disturbs my performance, and I'm always trying to declutter as much as I can. So yeah, schedule some time for you to clear out your wardrobes, get rid of all the summer clothes, start moving into fall, and just refresh your space so that you feel better and it's easier for you to step into your best version. And then the final thing I'm going to share on how you can become your best self is to create a signature look for this fall. And this may not resonate with everyone, but if you are someone who finds you get distracted quite easily, finds that you procrastinate and you're not getting as much as you'd like done, then this is something I would highly recommend you trying out, and it's creating your signature look. So what does that include? It's quite simple, and there are 3 areas that you want to create your signature look within. So first you want to have a capsule wardrobe. So this is where you're going to have some basic outfits that you can rotate around, and you can get really creative with it. There's loads of videos here on YouTube showing how you can literally create 50 outfits out of like 15 pieces. So you want to create a staple capsule wardrobe. This is going to minimize the time you spend getting dressed in the morning. It's going to minimize that disappointment that you may feel when you can't find something to wear, or you just don't feel confident or comfortable in what you are wearing. If you're able to create a capsule wardrobe that is full of items that you love, they're high quality pieces, you know you can mix and match, and you know you're always going to look good and polished, then that's what you want to go with. You also want to find a signature hairstyle for this fall. I know for me, it's absolutely going to be braids. I plan to have them all fall, all winter, because it's just easy, it's simple, they look cute, and it's one thing less to think about. And then finally, having a signature makeup look. Those staple products that you know work for you, you always look good, you look polished and flawless, and it just takes the guesswork out of it. That is what I'd recommend you do this fall to look and feel your best without having to go through all of the mental exhaustion of figuring out, what am I gonna wear? What am I gonna do with my hair? Because as small as these things may seem, they actually take up a lot of mental space if you don't have a routine down. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you did enjoy the first episode of the Reset series. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you check out my description box for resources and further information. And if you have any video ideas, leave them down in the comment section. That is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.